So, in the last class we were discussing about why most of the countries are following the democratic system of government. So, when we started that topic, first we discussed about the arguments against democracy. Okay. Arguments against democracy. So, first argument, leaders keep changing in democracy and so this leads to political instability. Okay. Then second one, democracy is all about political competition and power play, and so there is no scope for morality. Then so many people have to be consulted in democracy and it leads to delays. Then elected leaders do not know the best interests of the people and it leads to bad decisions. Then elected leaders do not know the best interests of the people and it leads to bad decisions. Then democracy leads to corruption, for it is based on electoral competition. Then ordinary people do not know what is good for them, so they should not decide anything. So all these were the arguments against democracy. So if the question is asked, which are the arguments against democracy, you can write this answer. And also the drawbacks, what are the drawbacks of democracy? Then also you can write this answer. Okay. So from this we can conclude that it's not a magical solution for all problems. Democracy is not a magical solution for all problems. Okay. If we take the case of India, from the time of independence we are following the democratic system of government. Okay. Now we reach 2020, but still there is poverty in our country. So this democratic system cannot remove poverty. In almost all countries it is the main problem faced by the people or faced by the ruling governments. Okay. So this democracy cannot end poverty. Example, India. Still we have poverty in our country. But in democracy, there is one advantage. People can take their own decisions. Okay. In a monarchy, the monarch himself or herself take the decision. But in democracy, people's representatives are ruling us. So who take decision? People take their own decisions. But here also, chances for mistakes. Sometimes these decisions may become mistakes. Okay, so there is no guarantee for these decisions. In democracy also there is chances for bad decisions, but very less chance. Okay. Then there is delay in decision making and frequent changes in leadership. So we covered all these points in our arguments against democracy. So democracy is not a magical solution for all problems. It's not a magical solution for all problems. It cannot end poverty. In democracy, people can take their own decisions, but these decisions may become bad decisions, or it may bring mistakes. Then delays. There is delay in decision making. Why? Because through discussions, each decision is coming in democracy. So it will take time-taking process in democracy, decision making. And there is frequent changes in leadership. Okay, that political instability. Clear? So we finish arguments against democracy. Now I am going to the next topic, arguments for democracy, or the arguments in support of, in favor of democracy. So is democracy better than other forms of government? So when we studied about the features of democracy, then also we reached the conclusion that democracy has all these features, so we can say that it is the better form of government. Okay? So is democracy better than other forms of government? So here also we are reaching to the point, to the first argument for democracy through an example. Okay? So here the example from China. In China, in the period between 1958-61, there was a famine. Okay? And it was the worst recorded famine. Okay? So in the period between 1958-61, in China, a famine occurred. And it was the worst recorded famine. Nearly 3 crore people died because of this famine. And you all know that India became independent in the year 1947, and China became a republic in 1949. So the economic condition of these two countries was almost same. Okay? So India's economic condition was not much different from that of China. But in India, during this period, such a famine didn't occur. Or after independence, India never witnessed such a famine. Why? So, according to economists, this is the result of government policies of both the countries. In India and China, the governments follow different policies. In one example, we already covered that in China there is one party rule. Communist party is ruling the country, and the parties, 7 or 8 parties which were closer to the Communist Party could become or could come in power in China. So opposition parties are not allowed in China. Okay? So it is the result of government policies in India and China. So what is the difference in the government policies of India and China? So as a democratic country, the government of India respond to food scarcity. So many times we also face food scarcity in our country. But in our country, the government is responsible or accountable to the people. So when food scarcity occurs, definitely in our country, the government would respond to it by providing facilities or food supplies to the people. So after independence, we never met such a large scale famine in our country after becoming an independent or democratic country. So before independence in India also there were famines. Okay, in 1940s there was famine and many people were died due to this famine. But after independence, India never witness such a famine here. So, according to the economists, if China has multi-party elections or opposition parties or a free press which is free to criticize the government, such a famine would never occur in China. So if there is multi-party elections, we all know that there is one-party rule or one-party election, and opposition parties are not allowed in China. So if there are opposition parties or free press, we already studied that the press is not free to criticize the government there. So if all these features were there, such a famine would never occur in China. Okay. So democracy is better than any other form of government in responding to the needs of the people. So from this example we can say that democracy is better than any other form of government, mainly in responding to the needs of the people. So in a non-democratic system, it is mainly dependent on the wishes of the people who rule. There is not much importance to the wishes of the people or the ruled. Okay. So no need to act according to the wishes of the people. Here in non-democratic system, there is no need to act according to the wishes of the people. So democracy is better than any other form of government in responding to the needs of the people. In non-democratic system, it is dependent on the wishes of the people who rule. There is not much importance to the wishes of the ruled, okay, of the common people. No need to act according to the wishes of the people. So, what is the first argument for democracy? A democratic government is a better government because it is more accountable form of government. So, democratic government is a better government because it is a more accountable or responsible form of government. That is the first argument for democracy. Okay. So we covered 6 points in arguments against democracy. So here first point from arguments for democracy. It's a better government because it is more accountable or more responsible form of government. Clear? So once again, how did we reach the first argument for democracy? Through the example of China. In China, there was a famine in the period of 1958-61, and it was the worst recorded famine. So nearly 3 crore people died due to this famine. So India's economic condition during this time was not much different from that of China, because both the countries got independence in a period very near period. Okay, so result of government. What is the reason? The reason is the government policies of both these countries, India and China. India is a democratic country, so the government always respond to the people's needs. So here, what is the people's problem? Food scarcity. So no large-scale famine occurred in India after getting independence or after becoming a democratic country. So in China, if according to the economists, in China, if there were multi-party elections or opposition parties or free press to criticize the government, such a famine would never occur there. So democracy is better than any other form of government in responding to the needs of the people. In non-democratic system, the wishes of the people are not given importance. There, in non-democratic system, the wishes of the people who rule are given importance. No importance to the wishes of the ruled. Okay. Then first argument for democracy, it's the better form of government because it is more accountable form of government. So now the second argument for democracy. So democracy lead to better decisions. Actually, it's opposite we studied. In argument against democracy, we studied that it is a time-taking process. It makes delays. Why? Through consultations, all decisions are coming in democracy. So democracy lead to better decisions because each decision is taken through consultations and discussions. Each decision is taken through consultation and discussion. And when people gather or when people assemble to take decisions, take the example of Gram Sabha. So these people can point out possible mistakes in any decision. Even in our assembly or even in our parliament, we can see this type of decision making. Okay, so when people join together, they can point out possible mistakes in any decision. One drawback is there, it is time taking. So when we are taking decisions through consultations, it may take time, but reduces the chances of rash or irresponsible decision. So what is the advantage? It reduces the chances of rash or irresponsible decisions. Okay. So democracy leads to better decisions because through consultations and discussions, each decision is taken in democratic system. When people join together to take decisions, they can point out possible mistakes in any decision, but it is a time-taking process, but it can reduce the chances of rash or irresponsible decisions. So, we can say that the second argument for democracy, democracy improves the quality of decision making. Democracy improves the quality of decision making. It is very important question. Democracy improves the quality of decision making. How? Then you have to write through discussions and consultations, each decision is taken in democratic system. So when people join together to take decisions, they can point out mistakes while taking this decision. So it is time-taking process, but it reduces the chances of irresponsible or rash decisions. So this is the second argument for democracy. Okay, so today I am not going to the third one. Just going through the first part of a chapter. So, the definition, it is very simple. Democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. I think you all know that definition. What are the features of democracy? So first feature, major decisions by elected leaders, and we studied the example from Pakistan. So in Pakistan in 1999, a military coup occurred under the leadership of General Pervez Musharraf. He overthrew the democratic elected government of Nawaz Sharif and he declared himself as the chief executive and later changed his designation as president. Then in 2002, a referendum was held, and through this referendum, Musharraf got 5 years extension to continue as the president. So, people criticize, mainly the media, then human rights organizations and democracy activists. They criticize that this referendum was based on malpractices and fraud. So, in 2002 August, he issued a legal framework order mainly to amend the Constitution of Pakistan. So, by this amendment, the President can dismiss the national and provincial or regional assemblies or state assemblies. Then National Security Council was there. It is a body which was dominated by the military officials. Okay, so this National Security Council would supervise the work of the cabinet, civilian cabinet. So law was passed. After passing this law, elections were held to both the national and state assemblies. So after elections, the elected representatives, they got some powers, not all powers. So final power rests with military officers and General Musharraf. So if it is a democratic system, the final power must be in the hands of the real rulers. Okay. So here the power is in the hands of the military officers, military officials and Musharraf himself. So we cannot say that it is a democratic system. Okay, it is similar to dictatorship, okay, military dictatorship. Okay. So I am not going to all details. So this question can be asked like write the features of democracy. Then you have to write all the 4 features of democracy. Otherwise, it can be asked, in a democracy, the final decision-making power must rest with those elected by the people. Explain with example. If the question is asked like this, you have to write this example. So today I sent notes, okay, and I didn't give all questions. I didn't give all features, then explain with example. 1 or 2 I gave as a model. So you have to prepare all these from your textbook, okay. Then second feature, that free and fair electoral competition. So we studied about the Chinese election. The Chinese parliament is named the National People's Congress. There the president is appointed by the parliament members. About 3,000 members are there. Then some members of the parliament are elected by the army, and the candidates need the approval of Chinese Communist Party for contesting elections. So members of the Communist Party or 8 smaller parties allied to it could contest election. So the government is always formed by the Communist Party. Then another example from Mexico. Mexico became independent in 1930. Presidential election every 6 years, and it never witnessed military rule or dictatorship. Until 2000, every election was won by PRI or Institutional Revolutionary Party. Then we studied the dirty tricks played by this PRI to win elections, that the government officials were forced to attend the party meetings, then teachers forced parents to vote for PRI. So all these dirty tricks we covered. Then media, how was the media there? It was used to criticize the opposition parties, ignore the activities of the opposition. Sometimes polling booths were shifted at the time of election, and it brought about difficulties to the people to cast their votes. Okay. Then large sum of money was spent for the election campaign by this party, by the ruling party PRI. So, second feature, a democracy must be based on free and fair election where those currently in power have a fair chance of losing. Okay. Then third, one person, one vote, one value. Three examples we studied here. First example from Saudi Arabia. Until 2015, women didn't have the right to vote in Saudi Arabia. Then in Estonia, people of Russian minority found it difficult to get the right to vote. Then Fiji, the vote of an indigenous Fijian has more value than that of an Indian Fijian. Okay. So, if it is democracy, there should be political equality. So, third feature, in democracy, each adult citizen must have one vote and each vote must have one value. Then last feature, rule of law and respect for rights. Then we covered the example from Zimbabwe. It became independent in 1980, and who led the freedom struggle there? The ZANU-PF, the political party ZANU-PF, Zimbabwe African National Union Patriotic Front, and its leader was Robert Mugabe. So regularly elections were there. He was a popular leader, and always the elections were won by ZANU-PF. But here also this popular leader played many unfair practices to win election. Okay. He changed the constitution several times to increase powers of president and less accountable, to make him less accountable to the people. Then opposition party workers were harassed, their meetings were disrupted, then public protests and demonstrations were considered as illegal. Then a law was there which limited the right to criticize the government. Then television and radio was under the control of the government, and it gave ruling parties version. Then independent newspapers were there, but these journalists who wrote against the government were harassed. Even the court judgments were also influenced by the government. So he was ousted from office in 2017, Mugabe. Okay. So we reach the fourth feature, a democratic government rules within limits set by constitutional law and citizens' rights. Okay. So we covered all the features. Then arguments against democracy. Then today's portion, arguments for democracy. We studied only two arguments for democracy. First one, through example we studied, that China's example. Then the second one, that discussions, through consultations and discussions we are taking decisions.